Hey everyone, I am Tony Spiro, the CEO of Cosmic, and I'm excited to have you guys join me today because this is the first live stream that we're doing of the new Cosmic AI platform features, which I'm super pumped to show you, and I think you're going to be excited to get your hands on it, and I'd love to see what you guys build. But for today, I'm going to show you just kind of how to build a pretty simple application using Cosmic's AI capabilities, which really revolutionizes how you build and deploy applications. What we've done with our CMS, we've now taken into the development and deployment space where everything is super intuitive, easy to use, and along with AI, it makes it so that anyone can build really anything they can think of using natural language. So with that, I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen just to kind of kick things off here. So let's see, I will share my entire screen here. Okay, so if anybody has anything to mention in the chat, feel free to say hello. And I think we have Jeff should be there to field any questions or any comments that you want to share with him. Yeah, let's kick things off here. So just to kind of give you a high level of what we're going to be checking out today, we released the Cosmic AI platform August 26th this year. And we've just been making improvements since then. And it's a really great way to get started using Cosmic. And just to kind of give you a highlight of just what we launched, the major features that we released were the Cosmic AI Content Studio. You can create content with intelligent assistants, and then the application development and deployment features, which allow you to build and launch apps quickly and easily using natural language, and then some of these advanced collaboration workflows. So this blog article is actually available in the comments. So I've added that here in the YouTube live stream, so you can go ahead and peruse that while I'm kind of taking you on this this journey of checking it out in real time. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'll be showing off is just some of these high-level features that we have available for you today in the dashboard. So to get things started, I want to just make sure that you see where we're kind of doing all of this this development work and demoing these features. So if you go to cosmicjs.com and you go and sign up or log in, you'll be taken into your dashboard, which will allow you to get started on a new project. By clicking New Project, you can get yourself set up with an environment that allows you to demo all of these features for free. So you can go ahead and check this out. There's no paywall to get it signed up and logged in. It's all ready to go for you to check it out. And I'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. But before we go on, just want to make sure if there's any issues with audio or video. Is everybody hearing me okay and seeing everything okay? I want to make sure that we're good to go. So as long as we're good, I'll keep moving. All right, so I want to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here so that it's easier to see my screen. All right, so let's start by creating a new project. So as you kind of go through the onboarding process, you'll see some of these prompts here to get started using AI, or you can also browse some of our community projects to clone. So we've got quite a few options here that you can check out, varying use cases from blogs to company websites to clones of popular sites. So for our demo today, I will go ahead and just get started with AI, and we'll start from scratch. But you can go ahead and clone any one of those applications as well to kind of kick things off a little further down the road. But for us, let's go ahead and start from scratch just to see some of the capabilities. So for this demo, I want to show you how to build an e-commerce surf shop. So we'll call this e-commerce surf shop. And the next process here is basically asking what you want to build. So this is our content modeling area. So you can basically think about the process as think about what your website is, what the content is that will be managed in the Cosmic CMS, and tell the AI how you want that to be put together. So just to give you an idea, we offer some of these pre-built example prompts. So we'll go ahead and start with one of these pre-built ones just to show you what that looks like to get started fairly quickly and easily. So this one is design a content model for an e-commerce store with products, collections, and customer reviews. So every one of these you can see can be updated within the Cosmic CMS. Products, collections, customer reviews, they all have sort of different content and media assets, product images, collection images, customer reviews, and they all kind of relate to each other, products and collections and customer reviews for each product, right? So we'll start here and say, instead of just regular store, we'll say a surf store with products, collections, and customer reviews. All right, now that is going to build our content model, and it will give us some behind the scenes of what the AI is doing to put together these content models. And also it will create some demo content to get us started. So I'll create a surf store e-commerce system with 3 essential content types: products, collections, reviews. And it will build this out real time for us. So basically, it's setting up these this demo content, uploading the media from Unsplash. So some of the media might not be exactly what we want, but we can always go back and update that. But it's a great way to get started and kind of seeing what it looks like when all of the content is populated versus just building out your content models and having to go back and update all the content yourself. The AI just sort of gives you a good starting point to give you visually what that would look like with all of your content in there. Minimal amounts of content, but we can always go back and add more. So as that's building, is there any other questions? Anything else going on with? Oh, thank you, Sarah, Sustainable Fashion. You've got a great website as well. Everyone, make sure to go to sarahsustainablefashion.com for all your fashion needs. And a happy Cosmic customer. We love seeing great use cases for the Cosmic CMS system. E-commerce is a great use case as well. And with the AI, you can actually build a lot of very extended functionality and features, which is, not just a marketing website, but e-commerce as well as like really kind of robust application features as well. So, all right, with this, we have our build content model area here. It will tell us what has been built. So products, collections, reviews, object types. And then for our demo objects, we have all of these products and categories and reviews to add. So let's go ahead and add 3 object types and 9 demo objects. All right. So now that has told us it has uploaded everything, and it doesn't assume that we're done here, but we won't be adding any more content. So let's go ahead and build and deploy our code. So the next step here in the onboarding process is building the application. And there's a few different ways we can add our content to an application, either with a full stack website, like using Next.js or Astro, or if you wanted to have it be more of like an interactive CRUD style application using React or Vue. For us, we want to basically have an e-commerce store that's available for the public, rendering server side, so we get all of the good SEO optimization that we want from a good e-commerce platform to be able to find customers or have customers find us, rather. So this is a great option for us to start, Next.js. And then if you don't really specify the technology, it will actually normally default to a Next.js app, unless it's something where it's more of a server, rather a SPA application, if it's more of like a client-side application. So this has been pre-populated for us. So it says, based on the content model for our previous prompt, build a complete web app that showcases this content, include modern responsive design with proper navigation, content display, and user-friendly interface. So that looks good to me. Another important note here is that we do provide this context area here in the chat, so you can see exactly what has been selected to be added into the AI so that the AI can have reference around what content you are building, and also the design of the API, the Cosmic API for all of these different content types. So that's super important, especially when you're building your application at the start, is to make sure that you provide the appropriate context. And in general, your AI development or your AI usage is only as good as the context. So I think we're going to have a lot more of our educational resources centered around how to best use context, because it's really powerful when you can leverage it and provide the AI exactly what it needs and minimize what it doesn't. So that's an important point as well. So if we were maybe creating like a clone of, let's say, Airbnb or DoorDash, which I've done in the past, what we could offer here is to the AI maybe a screenshot of the homepage of Airbnb or DoorDash. I've done this in the past, and it does a pretty good job as far as like matching the layout and the colors. Also providing external links, which you can do. Maybe DoorDash.com, you want it to scrape the code or the content of a website to clone or to redesign. So that's something that we have available there as well. Media API, if you need your content, your media assets from Cosmic included. Not necessarily something that we do very often, but it's there. Or you can use MCP servers to reach out to third-party providers to integrate into your workflow. So that's also really powerful. For us, all we need right now is the Objects API. So we'll go ahead and just close this out. And you'll see that the badge here notes that we do have some context available for it. We do have some options here to go into agent or ask mode, but we'll just kind of leave that for now, as well as this is a good default AI model to use Claude Sonnet for. So we'll leave that for now. All right, so let's go ahead and build our application. So same thing here. As it's building the application, it'll start off by telling us how it's thinking about building our app, what sort of integrations it's going to be using, how it's going to be designed. Note that it's mentioning the feature capabilities, meaning we did provide for it the product catalog, the collections, reviews, and it did get the note to make sure it's responsive design, and also optimized using the latest version of Next.js using server components. All right, so as that's building out, we can kind of see here that it's starting to build this out real time in this code editor view. So if you do want to peruse the code base as it's being built, you can do that here. And then you'll see here it's building our application. It's showing a progress bar. So as it's doing its thing, I'd like to also show you a little bit about what has been built within our content modeling system. So I've clicked here on this objects tab. I'm going to leave this open and let it build. And let's go ahead and check out all of the objects that it did add during that initial content modeling AI process. So it added some content modeling. As you can see over here on the left side, our object types. We have products, collections, and reviews. And it has added some Unsplash stock photography, as well as just some of the AI generated content for us to see how it's built out our products object type. Pretty basic information here, right? You have for a product, you want price, you want a gallery of images, maybe category, and yeah, pretty basic product content model there, as well as collections around various products that we want to add here, right? Reviews that connect back to a product. All right. And I'd like to also show you just sort of more of the developer features that have always been included in Cosmic, which is which I've always appreciated, is the API tools directly integrated into the dashboard. So when you're on any of these object pages, you can click API tools drawer, and you can open up to see exactly what that looks like when it's being provided via the API, right? So for our products, we have this REST API endpoint that includes all of our products with the metadata there. Gives us our category, in stock, quantity, all of that good stuff there is available to review. And you can also customize this API response, which is always nice. Let's say you don't need the type or the slug. You can just remove that, and it'll just provide the title and metadata. Also available are the Node.js code base, code example rather, and also curl. All right, so let's check back in on our build here. So it looks like it has built our surf shop, and we can go ahead and see here this preview of all of the different folders and files it has added. All right, so let's go ahead and deploy this. So is this repository available? It is not. So surf shop. All right, so let's just do demo for us. All right, so now it's got just some of the details here. The GitHub repository name. So this needs to be unique across all of our community repository code bases. If you did connect your GitHub account to Cosmic, you would be able to set this to a private repository. And then for web development, web deployment, we offer Vercel currently, and then you can select the different frameworks here. But for us, we want to stick to Next.js. So we'll go ahead and deploy this. All right, while that's being deployed, if anybody has any questions, feel free to add them to the chat. All right, so now our Surf Shop demo has been deployed. So let's check it out. Okay, so now we've been redirected to this single repository page with some tabs, right? So now we'll notice that we went from the AI Studio and now we're in the code view. This is basically our area to manage our code and our deployment workflows. So I'll just kind of take you on a tour of this page here. So we have our README content being available here on the overview page. Going to the left side here, we see our production URL. We'll see our latest deployment, and notice that it's building. So once that's built, that should go ahead and turn to a green check. We have a link to our GitHub repository, so you can see what this looks like in GitHub. And we also have our branches, so you can actually create and manage your branches here in Cosmic, which is a great time saver. All right, so looks like our latest deployment has been deployed. So let's go ahead and check out our production URL. All right, so this has built a pretty nice looking surf shop. As you can see, we've got nice header, header navigation, home, products, collections, reviews. This is kind of all of the things that we had in the Cosmic CMS, all of our content types. And looks like it added maybe just some hard-coded copy here. Discover premium surfboards, wetsuits, accessories, and then our featured collections here, and our featured products, and our reviews. So it did a pretty good job just translating all of our content right into a Next.js web application, full stack, generated server side, probably has pretty decent SEO Lighthouse scores right off the bat. I'm not going to go over that in this this demo, but definitely something to note is that it does a lot of the optimization for you right out of the box. So let's go ahead and just keep checking this out. So let's go into our featured collections and let's see what it has done here. So you notice it says 404. This page cannot be found. So we got a good home page set up, but it looks like maybe some of these other interior pages were not built. Ah, tricky. So it definitely tricked us into thinking we had a full website built, but it did not do everything that we wanted. But that's okay, because this is a good starting point, and we can continue to ask the AI to build out these features for us. So before I get into the follow-up updates that we can do on our code base, I'll go ahead and show you just a quick tour of what is available here in this code area for the different options of interacting with your code and your deployment. So the next tab over is Files. Just like we saw earlier, our file system is available here to review. As you can see, if you're a Next.js developer, you notice this is where the pages would be, and it looks like it didn't even try to build out those additional pages for us. So we can go ahead and do that in the next update. All right, next over. Before we check that out, you do have the ability to create new branches here as well, and also create pull requests. If I did want to update this with proper spelling, you can also say, oops, sorry, that was my magic mouse flicking. So if I do an awesome, so I can save this and actually commit the changes here as well. If you want to do any sort of quick code edits, that's available to do. So I'll reset the changes there. All right, next over we have our deployments. So as you can see, it one-shotted this application. It just stuck to the homepage, which is fine. It showed us a cool application built right away. So thank you for that, AI. But we have a little bit more work to do as far as adding those additional pages. Next up, we have our pull requests. If you're familiar with GitHub workflows, this is really the standard way of building scalable and collaborative applications. Is you want to be able to have multiple branches, test things out, especially with AI assisted development. You want to have the ability to branch off of your production code base and test stuff out, build out new features, and then when everything looks good, do your due diligence, QA, code review, whatever you need to do to make sure that everything's working properly. Then you create a pull request and merge it into your main branch. So this is crucial for good best practice coding and workflow development, as well as with AI especially. You want to make sure that you have your features and any sort of updates you make on a specific branch that you can test and then merge into your production branch after a good review. So next up, we have our domains. This is great for quickly editing your domains. We also offer the ability to connect domains and purchase domains. So I'll show you that later, but for now, let's just keep it moving here. Environment variables. You have the ability to add environment variables. Let's say you're connecting to Stripe payment systems or Resend for email services. This is where you would do that. That's also available within our chat interface, where you can just add it directly as you're kind of building out your application features, but it's also available here for you to manage. Next up, you have settings. This would be the area where you would maybe transfer over your account. Let's say you wanted to take this off of the community GitHub and community Vercel deployments and put it onto your own. You can manage that here. All right, so let's go ahead and build out some of those missing pages that we saw earlier. All right, take one moment for a drink of water. All right, thank you for hanging out with me so far. Before I jump into the chat stuff, does anybody have anything to say? Any questions? Jeff, you're on top of things. Looks like you kicked out all the people who are being unruly. Thank you for that. All right, so let's get into our missing pages here. All right, so here is a view which with all of the vibe coding systems and services out there, I'm sure it's a familiar thing to see for some people who have done quote unquote vibe coding. But for us, This is something where we we are putting together more than just like chat interface for visual feedback. This is a full suite of features that are available for really sophisticated workflows and development using AI. So I'll show you some of these things that makes Cosmic unique in that space, but it should be somewhat familiar to anyone who's used other services for AI assisted development. So let's kind of take it from the top here. So notice it says our repository name here. So Surfshop demo, same familiar branch selector here. I'll go ahead. We'll just kind of move things along here, and I'll add a new branch for pages because that's the goal here. Let's fix our e-commerce store and add those missing pages. So I'll branch off of the main branch. So now we have our pages branch. You can also see here the deployment history is available in this modal here. So we'll look at that maybe a little bit later to show you some of the things you can do with like previews and rollbacks. Moving on, we also have the ability to customize your view here. So if you wanted to just strictly view the chat experience, you can do that, or split this in half, chat and preview, or just full on preview. We also have the ability to kind of preview what it looks like in different device widths. Obviously, we need to do some mobile optimization here. All right, so going back into our split view, let's go ahead and jump down here. This is also probably familiar by now. We did this first with our AI-assisted content development, and also with the first application development prompt. So let's go ahead and create our prompt to, before we jump into that, another note on the preview here. We also have the ability to open up this console to see any browser issues that may come up. So that's also a handy tool to have, as well as this will map to all of our pages that we click here. So if you do need to kind of go to a specific path, that's also available. All right, so let's go ahead and create our prompt for updating this to include our missing pages. So add the missing pages for, and we'll kind of break this out pretty simply for products. I might not need to even list this out. Let's just do this. So products, collections, and reviews. Also, single pages for products. Maybe word this a little differently. Also pages for single products and single collections. So it's important to be very explicit with your AI prompting, right? So trying to make this as clear as we can, add the missing pages for products, collections, and reviews. Also pages for single products and single collections. So we want to have the ability to click into premium gear and see that page, as well as go to your products and click into the single product page and see the product there. So let's go ahead and let this do its thing, making sure that we have the proper context. So it defaults to adding your objects. So let's go ahead and build that out. So, all right, as it's doing its thing, I'll take a sip of coffee. All right, as you can see, it's doing some thinking and looking at some files. So it is referencing the GitHub repository and just making sure that it has the full context around what it needs to do to your files, what references it needs to make, and just giving itself the proper context to provide for you the feature that you're asking it for. This confidence level is also pretty key. So as long as it's referencing the right code and content, it should know exactly what to do, as long as your request makes sense. So, make sure to be nice to the AI agents, as they may be our employers in the future. So always be kind. Just a general good policy. All right, so add missing pages for products, collections, reviews, and dynamic product collection pages. So now it shows us what the commit message will be, which seems pretty accurate. I heard an interesting take by Guillermo Rauch, the CEO at Vercel, that he said, it's interesting now how, like, with development, we're kind of going backwards now. Now we are, instead of developing the code and then creating a commit message, we're actually creating the commit message first as a prompt and then sending it to the AI to develop. So I felt like that was an interesting take on kind of the nature of web development now. Is it's sort of flipped on its head, where the commit message comes first. So shout out to G Rauch. All right, so it looks like it's created the missing pages, product, single product page, and then it drops us down here to let us know, like, we've got this deployment status updated. And yeah, it's doing quite a bit of heavy lifting for a single request, right? If you were developing all of this by hand, this would take quite a long time to develop all of these pages, especially with referencing the API Cosmic. If it's something that's new for you, maybe it's a new API design that you're not quite used to. It's something that would take a lot of time, even though our API, I think, is one of the most well-designed in the space. It is something where, if you're not familiar with it, it could take a minute to figure it out, but we've fed all of the design to the AI, so now it can build it out in less than a minute, right? So how awesome is that? Now it's ready to go. Is it going to be totally functional? Well, let's check it out. So as you can see, this has refreshed, and it'll show us here we are looking at the latest branch, the latest version of Pages branch, right? So let's go ahead and maybe click around a little bit. So let's look at our products. Oh, what's up? Thank you, AI. It has built out our products page. This looks great. If we want to go ahead and maybe view this out in the wild, now we have our surf shop. It is on a dedicated link here. You could either click this external link, or you could click view deployment as well. It's the same link there. And let's go ahead and peruse around and see what we've got. So did it create the products? Check, it did. So we have our products page. Did it create the single product page? Check, it did. And it has also included our gallery of images here. Pretty basic implementation. It hasn't added any functionality for cart yet, but that's something we could also continue to add on with our chat updates. So let's go back into our products. All right, so that looks good. And let's check out our collections. So starting with a single collection, let's see what that looks like. All right, so now it's got our premium gear available here. So this is our premium surf leash. Okay, cool. And then if we want to go to collections, we'll see it did include all of our collections that we added initially. And then our reviews page. Awesome. Ooh, it even gave us a good sum of the review of the 5-star reviews. Great. So it included everything, as well as links. Did it link this? Did not link this. It looks like a link though. So we can always make improvements and updates from here. And let's see, shop now goes to our products page, browse collections goes to our collections page. All right, so pretty good start. I would say maybe some improvements here that we can do to the design is making it mobile responsive, maybe having it have this familiar sticky header that we're used to seeing with e-commerce sites for good navigation. But let's go ahead and do before I move forward. Any questions so far? Okay, we're good. All right. So moving on, let's go ahead and let's merge this. So now we have this on a separate branch. We've reviewed it. It looks good. So let's go ahead and create a pull request. So notice that this has added our commit message here into the title. And we just need to create pull request. And now we can see it has successfully created it. And we can go and check this out on GitHub. If you'd like to do more thorough code review, this is where you can do that. You can view all of the file changes here. Maybe a good place to do your cosmic education as well, to see how it queried the Cosmic API to include all of that data. So not just excellent for building applications, but great for learning about our system, what makes Cosmic a great content management system. All right, let's go ahead and merge this into main. Once that is merged, we can safely delete our pages branch. So let's do that. All right. So that is pretty much all the basic stuff that you can do. Oh, one more thing. If you want to get into Zen mode, that's really cool to have as well. When you just want to focus on building your application in this dedicated chat and preview mode, you can do that with this button here on the right. Okay, so next up, so after it's built, go to each tab and review features. All right, so we already kind of reviewed all of these features here in our code area. So I want to also show you what this is like building out more of these more integrated third-party features. So let's say we wanted to take this to the next level, right? This isn't quite done yet as far as a shop. I can't make money with this site just yet. I can't get customers quite yet, right? It's all kind of more visually presented, but not quite functional. So when you're ready to convert this over into a fully functioning e-commerce site, we do have the ability to connect with third-party providers such as Stripe or Resend. So I want to demonstrate that for you guys, what that looks like when you want to build out something that's a little bit more of an interactive feature. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've got this pre-built prompt here that I wanted to share. So let's go ahead and create a contact page just so that we can get customers to reach out and maybe ask questions about our products on our surf shop. So I went ahead and pre-typed this. So create a contact page with a contact form that sends an email from my email to my email, as well as a confirmation email. Send emails using Resend and design like the website, right? So we want our emails designed like our website. So with that, I'll create a new branch called contact. And I will go ahead and, if we did actually want to use the ask mode, this is also helpful if you were to maybe just ask it, how would I go about creating a contact form for my website? So that's something where you can ask it first and then do a follow-up of please implement this after the fact. So that's something maybe if you're used to using Cursor, it's a familiar type of workflow of just asking the AI about thinking about something and then developing it. All right, with that, let's go ahead and build our contact page. Let's go back into agent mode. So while it's doing its thing, if you're familiar with Resend, so not affiliated with them, just really like the service. So yeah, check them out for your programmatic email campaigns and transactional emails that you can send. All right, so it looks like it is built out the contact form with the resend email functionality. Okay. So while it's doing its thing, if anybody has any questions, feel free to jump in. Nope, good to go. All right. Okay. So something to note here is that it added this area for environment variables. It's still kind of building out this content here. So the environment variables that it's going to ask us to add is this resend API key. So this will connect to our resend account to enable the email functionality with our contact form. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add our resend API key here. To do that, I'll go ahead and log back in. Trying not to share any sensitive information here. So let's go ahead and go to API keys. We'll call this live demo. And it will have access to send from cosmicjs.com. All right. So let's go ahead and copy this API key and add it here. And then we'll add the variable. Notice that the deployment failed, and I have a suspicion of why it did that. And I will go ahead and confirm. Oh, auto prefixer. That's actually a surprise. I thought it might not deploy because we didn't have the resend key. But it actually failed on something else. But if we didn't have that resend key, it probably would have failed there too. So this is actually a great moment to show you when you probably don't need to use context for the content in your bucket. So you can just note here, cannot find module auto prefixer. It looks like this is just a code issue with our post CSS, and it probably doesn't need to reference any of our content. So to save on API AI tokens, we can go ahead and just remove all of our context. And then we can fix the errors in a new chat. So we haven't done this yet. So we don't need to redeploy. We do need to fix this issue here. So let's go ahead and tell the AI to fix that issue. All right, let's do it. All right, as it's doing its thing, you'll notice it just added at the top, please fix these errors, and our build logs that had the error noted in them. Okay, it's saying I'm going to analyze and da-da-da. Let's go ahead and review quickly what this deployment history looks like now. We've got our initial build, one shot of that. Good job, AI. And then we did our pages, one shot of that too. And then we merged into main. And now we have our contact form, which had an error with that CSS issue. And now we're building again. So we just finished our our latest update, add missing auto prefixer dependency to fix build errors. And so this should also take in that resend API key environment variable that we just added. So we shouldn't get an error with it not finding that. So I'm hopeful that it should build properly unless there's another type of issue going on here. and we're building. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. It is now about 48 minutes into this, and I hope it's been something that you're enjoying watching. I love building cool applications, so this is really fun to me. And all of these new tools really make it so streamlined and easy and fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys build. I'm probably wrapping up here pretty soon, but just wanted to show you kind of this final feature here to kick things off. So contact looks like this has now been deployed, and we can check this out. So get in touch. Let's talk surf. Email us. It has the email address that I added, and send us a message. All right, so let's try this out. This is an interactive feature built with Cosmic AI and resend. So let's check this out. So test user, and I'll go ahead and, if you want to spam me on my personal email, go right ahead. Just kidding. Let's go to support@cosmicjs.com. So I told it to use Tony@cosmicjs.com as well as support@cosmicjs.com. All right, so now we'll do surfboard help. What's the best board to use for longboarding as a beginner? All right, so let's try this. Ready? Drum roll, please. All right, message sent successfully. So with that, I'll go ahead and string for a minute, and I'll pull up my email just to double check this stuff here. And we can also review this in the resend backend. So if you go to your API key, you'll see live demo. It should pull up when it was last used and maybe how many emails it sent. So going through logs, you'll see, oh, looks like it posted 1 minute ago, probably from our, right? It went from Tony@cosmicjs.com, and then also from Tony@cosmicjs.com. So it did both the, I guess you can't see my screen now. All right, so we'll check that out in a second. But I'll go ahead and pull these up, show you what this looks like. All right, 1 second here. Here we go. All right, I'll share my screen again. Entire screen. All right, so now it shows that it did send to support. So I was, my email that I sent with was support@cosmicjs.com, and it sent me, thanks for reaching out. And it has my surf shop and styled kind of like the website, right? Because I told it to design the email like the website itself. And it has your message summary, what's the best board to use for longboarding as a beginner, right? And then it also sent it to the contact form submission to my email address, surfboard help, and the message is, what's the best board to use for longboard? So pretty cool. It was very straightforward, simple. It took a few prompts to get this up and running to a good spot where we can get customers to the site and also have them interact with us. So yeah, that's pretty much the conclusion of our demo. I appreciate everyone jumping in and allowing me to take a few moments and show you the cool stuff that we're building at Cosmic. I'm super pumped with all of the developments, with enabling anyone to get into Cosmic and go from idea to production in minutes. It's really quite a time to be alive, where these developer superpowers are now available to anyone who has an idea and wants to build something amazing, and or wants to help out a family member or a friend build something, it just takes a few minutes to go in and interact with the AI and get up and running in a short amount of time and build something great for everyone to enjoy. So I can't wait to see what you guys build. I will be doing more of these live streams just because they're a lot of fun. So hope to see you guys again next time. All right. Bye. Thank you.